Are you standing by witness intimidation? The witnesses and the whistleblowers are being intimidated by the president's son's lawyers. You stand by that, and you say you have evidence of that?
It depends on your definition of intimidation. If you get a call from the lawyers and they remind you of your potential liability in some of these business schemes, then yes, I would consider that witness intimidation. We're going to ask for immunity for some moving forward.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I love herd immunity. Well, it's never the crime. It's always the cover-up. It's always the lawyers. And a new Fox poll today showing 44% of registered voters, they think Hunter did something illegal. 35% say he did something only unethical. 14% say he did nothing wrong because he's a lambkin sweet bear rabbit. Hunter Biden's legal problems, obviously a major headache for the president. But how far up the totem pole is this child support case going to go? Joining me now, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General and law professor in the UC system at UC Berkeley, John Yoo is back. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Kennedy, how are you?
Hey. So let me ask you, who can take a deeper forensic dive into Hunter's finances? Is it this court, this circuit court in Arkansas, or Congress and one of the oversight committees?
I think actually that he's fighting the three-front war here, because you've got this Arkansas court, which has the right under the law to get access to Hunter's finances. He brought it on himself. He doesn't want to pay child support. So the court reasonably said, well, show us that what your income is. So I think that court should be able to get his tax returns, bank accounts, income statements, and see whether he's telling the truth. At the same time, I think Congress also has a legal right of oversight to make sure that foreign companies, foreign countries weren't trying to exercise influence on the Bidens by trying essentially to bribe one of the president's family members. And then you've also got a Justice Department investigation that's still been going on into tax evasion and tax fraud and tax cover-up out of Wilmington, Delaware. And that's yet another front that's going on that Hunter has to deal with.
Where do you think he should cop a plea?
I think that the best thing Hunter could do is cop a plea in Wilmington, Delaware to the Justice Department, and then not try to get out and wiggle out of his child support obligations. And then once he's done both of those two court cases, maybe Congress will treat him a little bit easier. But I think he's got to plead guilty in Wilmington, Delaware, if everything we're starting to hear about what's on the laptop turns out to be true.
Yeah, and we did hear the Secretary of State say some interesting things to Bret Baier just moments ago on the Fox News channel about that. When I say interesting, he wouldn't answer a damn thing. All right, so if he does in fact cop a plea and that headache is minimized in Delaware, what could happen potentially in Arkansas with this case? Because his child has as much right to support as any of his other children, regardless of the circumstances of the tryst.
Actually, this is Hunter's it's all his own fault. He brought this on himself. He and the mother of his child made an agreement on monthly support payments. And the reason this is all going on is because Hunter wants to pay less. And to pay less, he has to show he's making less money. I think this is a disaster, actually, from the Biden perspective, because one of these three suits is going to get this information out there. Maybe it's going to be Congress, maybe the U.S. Attorney, maybe Arkansas. But this scorched earth just trying to delay and delay, it's not going to work anymore. One of these three places is going to get this information, and it could very well be very damaging and embarrassing. The smart thing for them to do is get it all out right away, rather than, as you said, Kennedy, don't make the cover-up worse than the original crime. Get all the information out there.
I mean, if Comer is right and his lawyers really are trying to intimidate whistleblowers into silence, they're making, a bad situation much more problematic. And, I don't care if it's Hunter Biden. I don't care which administration. If there are whistleblowers and they have proof of corruption within the agency where they work, they should absolutely come forward and they should be protected. We need more of that and far less intimidation and corruption. John, thank you so much for your time. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, Kennedy.
Yeah.